In this week's episode, we chat about sucking your ma's tit at a wedding, Danny's obsession with sand, and Jordan being a bad dad.
Welcome back to a new episode of the No Rep Podcast, episode number 55. We're racking them up. 100 before the end of the year, question mark. That was my goal in January. Don't think we'll hit it.
No. I done the maths there.
It's 2 years to hit 55.
Yeah.
How long have we been doing this, actually?
A while?
Not
Year and a half?
Year and a half. I believe February is about the day. In fact, we had this discussion before and Paul was like, it's a year the day. And he went, no, that's the day's booking, actually. Remember that?
Aye.
So, no, been rocking a bit. Anyway, how are we?
I'm good. I'm cozy.
You do look cozy, to be fair.
Do you know what?
They can't see my legs.
I wish the camera could pan down.
I'll get it. And just...
Are you going to... you need to... So if you're up following Danny on Instagram...
This is winter podcasting here.
Mate,
autumn.
Evan's that guy, right? Regardless of what type of... If it's happening, regardless of what type of year, what time of year it is, he'll be wearing shorts and ankle socks.
That's a fact.
He's that guy.
I'm that guy.
Literally.
Yeah. And do you know, I feel good for it. I'm actually not that cold. I just didn't know.
Mate, you were chittering when I came in here.
No, but I mean,
it's cool.
No, but I mean, that's probably because I was carrying the monsters. That's definitely my core temperature that went shot. But no, I feel good.
Mate, see, training tonight, I'll be trackied up, hoodie, Under Armour. I'm not for it. I'm not for this.
Because, like, you obviously feel a wee bit cold and uncomfortable, right? But you're like, no, this is my vibe.
This is me. People know me as a short.
I would rather be comfortable and go, I'll put joggies on.
There's a boy...
To be fair, you did last year. You started rocking joggies a wee bit.
for like a week.
I've never seen him wear trousers before. Except after a game.
People actually get like... No, yeah.
I mean, he has to.
Yeah, but he has to wear like smart trousers. I've never seen you wear trousers.
Me and Amanda actually had like arguments over like me wearing trousers and stuff. He said, why can't you just wear trousers?
Obviously, you're wearing a kilt when you get married, so you'll have them out.
100%.
Mate, and he's got he's got a 6x Nico and he's fucking rhino shorts. Ankle socks and Metcons like Evan, mate.
See, I do what I want.
Do you know what? That's absolutely fair. However, you pulled me up about this, and it's actually a fact that training, and especially weightlifting in trackies, is superior than shorts. And that is a fact.
That is absolutely... On no planet is lifting in trackies. Do you know, actually, people that lift in trackies need their hard drives checked, and that's a fact.
Depends where you train.
Oh, no, I swear down, like, even when it's warm out, see if I'm lifting, and you're like, I'm like, I don't like, so if I'm doing cleans or snatches and the bar like slides up my raw thigh, I don't like that. I like it sliding up my trackies.
You should buy a weightlifting suit.
What?
Weightlifting suit, proper
3-piece?
Aye. No, 1 piece, bro.
1 piece, see a wee moose knuckle like that.
Nah, like, no, because even at that's not shorts, that's shorts. That's
True.
not, like, I like wearing trackies when I train.
thick.
Do you know what I mean? I like wearing trackies when
Anyway,
I train. You pulled me up about that,
That's
actually.
because it's fucking weird.
But see, depends on the trackie. So I could see like the thicker, comfy joggies. I like training in them. But see, like the Nike joggies are made for training. Hate training in them.
Like
they're quite restrictive. They're quite tight.
A trackie from 2010.
What are you talking about? A fucking like cotton trackies.
I like cotton. Like, see, like comfy cotton.
You training them?
Aye, I have done.
That's fucked.
When it's cold, when it's like cold.
Do you know what?
It's cold in base.
I think it's weird. See guys wearing a full trackie of any description.
Do you?
Aye, I think it's
I
weird.
like a trackie.
So see a guy either wearing like an Adidas or like a cotton. I'm like,
I think I'm gonna
no bueno.
yes and no. So like the answer, the worst answer on planet Earth to any questions, but the answer to that question is like it depends, or the answer to that statement is
We
it
are
depends.
fucking depends
Right?
podcast.
Because
it depends.
That's
I'll
actually
wear-
a good name for it, but the It Depends podcast.
It depends podcast.
Might
I'll
rebrand.
wear black cotton tracksuit bottoms with this black hoodie,
That doesn't make it right.
grey or grey, like that's
Doesn't make it right.
That doesn't make it right.
That's
just because you said I'll do it, that doesn't
But
make it
nothing
okay.
beats a pure proper Lacoste tracky top. Like see the shell jacket.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna get one of the Lacoste belters that guys used to wear back in the day. Sick.
See the bottoms, so soft, so
Oh,
comfortable.
nice.
Amazing.
Especially with like wee bombers with fags on them.
I've got a cousin who never stopped.
Really?
never stop.
They'll come
Always
back.
Still living that young team life.
Always get the best of the Kostracki's.
Mate,
Always get
they'll
the
come
Nikes.
back. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to get
Remember that guy we seen? And he looked cool as fuck.
Mate, in the park.
I seen him again the weekend after,
Did
just
you?
in the town, just random day. In the middle of the street, they this.
Mate, there was this guy in Parlour, right?
animated.
It was it my engagement thing or something like that? It was.
Aye,
Yeah.
it was.
And then there was this guy. I think there was that Riverside Festivals on at the same time. This guy, I think, did he have a mustache?
No.
No.
He had like dark kind of hair.
Dark
and
fucking slick back hair, right? Quite a handsome looking cunt.
shorts on.
Shorts on, white t-shirt, Lacoste tracky top. And I was like, you're sick. I was like, that's
You're
class.
my
But see,
hero.
I seen him. He's wearing the exact same.
Was he?
outfit.
I still out
Probably. He gave that vibe, didn't he? When I'm out. Like,
for a week. That's funny.
Aye.
What was I was going to mention something?
that was a good night.
It was a good night. I forgot to mention on last week's podcast. I don't know if I did actually.
Mention it
Did I
again.
mention Care?
Oh no!
Did I not?
Shout out Care.
Shout out Care.
Shout out Care. Explain.
So I'm sitting, World Cup, standing actually, sorry, in the World Cup, in the queue to get a pint, and then I got a tap on my shoulder. I might have told this story last week.
You didn't.
He
No.
didn't.
100%
No,
didn't.
He didn't.
You told me.
He posted it on
on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Tap on the shoulder. And he's like, "Are you pal? Is your name Jordan?" I'm like, "Aye."
So this is in France.
This is in
This is in
context. In Nice, France, in the stadium during the World Cup. Is your name Jordan? Aye. Are you pals with Evan Middleton? Aye. All right. What's happening? I listen to your podcast. I'm like, no way. He's like, I'm Evan's wee brothers, best mates or friends.
Yeah. So he's
I think-
he's friends with the worst Middleton.
The worst Middleton. I was like, what the fuck? And we were both just sitting there going, that's mental, man. And he was going, that's mental, man. A true Scottish.
Where did we go for here?
Strange
How fucking
interaction.
mental's that?
There's a chance he's in that, mate.
That was the thought.
man.
That was the thought. I was like, that's mental, man. What are the chances, mate, in the whole of France? And it's funny because I thought I would bump into somebody I know at that stage, but not somebody that,
Through rugby,
Because,
maybe.
through rugby or through
Podcast.
whatever. But not through the podcast.
Do you know what I bet you that
Weird.
major night
Proper
more
did.
than the rugby?
And I met him again when I was in the queue to get a burger, and so was he.
I care so.
I was like, what's happening? He's like, you follow me? And I was like,
We're tagging each other.
totally. So shout out Care.
Shout out Care.
Fucking
He's a
top
great.
bloke.
He's a great guy, by the way.
Top bloke, honestly. Proper made my day, and I went back and told Katie, and she's like, no way. And I was like, you got a picture of him and everything, man. So that's sick. Worldwide.
that.
Anyway, I just was driving in the car and I was like, I can't remember if I spoke about that because I told
No.
the story to a bunch of folk, but I can't remember if I said it in the podcast. So,
Did you see him again?
I seen him twice inside the stadium. But I thought it was cool. You deserve a shout out. So if you do listen,
Shout out. He
you
deserves
go.
a shout out. Great guy.
Aye. Anyway, so there's a couple of bits we're going to talk about today. What was happening? What was the script?
So you're you were talking about house dinners on your story, and then you asked us again.
Yeah.
Mate,
house dinners.
so many came pouring into my brain,
So
man.
I got. We'll talk about yours, right? But I got a bunch of feedback as well, and a lot of them are the same, which doesn't surprise me.
Scottish Moz.
Yeah, it doesn't
Scottish
surprise me.
grannies and all that.
Aye.
But I think I could guess what Evans is. I think I can. In fact, right, hold on. I'm gonna. I'm gonna write it down.
Okay.
I actually think he's more simple with his.
Right,
Yeah,
so I've,
caviar's pretty-
don't look into the chat.
Fish eggs
I'm
are
not
just-
looking at the chat.
I've sent it into our chat, right? So, what is your one of your favourite house dinners?
One of my favourite house
Yeah,
dinners.
if not the
I think
favourite.
I know. I think I know what you think.
Yeah.
my house dinner is, but that's not my house dinner. But we'll viewers will soon
Play the
see.
game.
Chicken Kievs,
Fuck off. The fuck is...
chicken Kievs, potato waffles, beans.
I'm no joking. Chicken nuggets and beans is what I was thinking.
Chicken Kievs. Did you think mince and potatoes?
Did you?
Look at the chat. Look at the chat.
I knew that, right. Mince and
The fact that you even think
right.
that,
Do you know
that
right?
guy
So,
there.
actually, I was going to bring this up anyway.
Right.
Right. there's this misconception that I like mince and potato. See, obviously when my mum was cooking me dinners and stuff, I used to give her fucking some stick for every second meal was mince and potatoes, right? See, as an adult now, like I can kind of appreciate that, but it's ruined the meal for me. I can't eat it now.
No, not even now.
Not at all. Like every second meal. So a bit of context: when I was a kid, my mum was in a bit of an abusive relationship, got out and stuff, but we stayed in like a women's aid flat and stuff, so my mum didn't have any fucking money, right? So mince and potatoes, easy meal. Me being a fucking kid, fucking mince and potatoes again, this is shit.
I want a chicken pie.
I want a chicken pie.
You want the chicken Kiev?
Chicken Kiev. Chicken Kiev's top notch, by
I
the
don't
way.
know if I've actually ever had a chicken Kiev.
Unbelievable.
Garlicky inside.
I know what it is, but
unbelievable.
I
Also,
probably have. But
turkey dinosaurs as well.
Oh, Twizzlers.
nah, I was never a turkey. My mum was a Jamie Oliver fan, so I never had turkey twizzlers in the gaff.
Ooh.
Do you know what I mean?
So anyway, like
Not mine. He had
Aye,
Jamie Oliver.
but
had
he's
mad,
not ruined the
I
country.
had mad
we
beef.
used to get mad girthy pizza slices in school.
Aye.
Like amazing,
Aye, the square ones.
big
Yeah,
fucking,
belters.
and then
Because of him.
fuck you, Jamie.
I used to do sliders when I was younger. My wee nanny was always making them for us, so like wee mini burgers.
yeah.
Hundreds of mini burgers. I used to fucking love
See the way
them,
you
man.
said that? It sounds like that was like the name of like an ecstasy tablet. I used to do sliders back in the day, man.
They pingers. They were
That was the gateway.
Granny's
My nanny's
Just the way you
sliders.
said that, I was
Granny,
like,
you get one of the rock stars there. Do you know? I used to hang about a wee guy. What was his fucking name? This was when I was the wee Ian Dobbin or something like that.
chuck him under
Was he
the
a wee
bus.
guy at the time? Or?
He was, well, I'll tell you exactly why. And because the only thing he would eat, and this is no word of a lie, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right, was wee Willy Winky sausages, right, bread and butter, and a can of Coke. Right, so that's
all you would eat.
All he would eat. So we'd go over to his house to play PlayStation and all that, and then that's what he'd be having. It was mega weird, man.
Mate, wee Willy
People like
Winkies
that.
were goated
Aye.
though.
But
My mum
not
used to
for
make them
every
all the
meal,
time.
every day of the year.
Tomato sauce, but Jordan wouldn't have experienced that.
Nah, tomato sauce is fucking disgusting.
Neil would Cam. What was I going to say?
So
there was a
yours a chicken Kiev, not minced potatoes. It's chicken-
One off.
One off.
Aye.
There was a wee guy, you're talking about the wee guy. There was a wee guy at my bit, we used to call him Banana Man, right? And he'd wear a white t-shirt every day, and he'd always have a banana, man. It didn't matter. He'd always have a banana on him. We called him Banana Man. Banana Man! And he'd like, wee guy, he'd just run away.
Just peeling his
Banana Man, come here! Like, always they just run.
Being a wee guy was fucking class.
like that. You know that video where the guy's dressed up in a red trackie and he's standing next to the post box. And he's like, I thought you were a post box, man. You seen that? You seen that? With
I think so.
Fucking hell. Anyway.
So what was...
That's not a bank machine, mate.
That's a fence.
That's a fence.
You know, people get their pictures taken next to that now.
Aye.
If they're up in Aberdeen.
Aye.
It's like a pure tourist attraction.
attraction.
I suppose what else are you going to fucking see in Aberdeen?
That's
anyway, so mine, growing up, was, I mean, there is a few. And I was actually quite blessed growing up because my mum and dad are both good cooks. Like, they both, every meal was like homemade. Don't get me wrong, I always had I had the Willy Winky sausages and potato waffles and all that shit. But like,
Didn't have chicken Kievs, but
then I don't think I had chicken Kievs as
Fucking
much.
top
But-
tier by the underrated actually, but
Yeah.
that could be an episode.
I might buy one. Buy some. But lasagna, my mum made a fucking sick lasagna, and it's still one of my favourite meals to this day. It's proper good. Mum's nowhere near Italian or whatever, right? But it's just fucking phenomenal. It's such a good meal. Between that and then chicken and chips.
Chicken and chips.
Fucking like chicken and chips.
that's-
Roast chicken gravy chips.
That's never been a thing in my life.
The next day in the sandwich, man.
Aye, leftover chicken and then the crispy chicken
White
skin.
bread,
And
but
it's
has to be white bread.
Did you come from a Stovies household?
stovies.
Nah.
What's a stovey?
What's a Stovey?
What's a
It's a sort of Scottish stew with like sausages and all that in it.
No, we never.
You've never had
did.
Stovies?
Oh, stovies? No, I thought you said stovies.
Aye, so it's like a Stovies household, like where your mum made
I thought the thing was
Stovies.
called
Stovies.
a stovies.
Sorry, the viewers didn't think that because they're not stupid.
I know, because I don't know. I grew up in a household that made homemade lasagna.
But no Stovies?
No stovies.
Stovies.
I don't know what that is.
Top tier.
But this is one, in fact, no, talking about meals that your mums and that used to overmake.
Fucking
I remember every winter,
potatoes.
every second meal was a stew. And I was like, Oh, and that's slow cooker. Slow cookers back then were what air fryers are now.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
It's actually a shout, by the way.
mate, they were popping, man. Like, you used to get them out the Woolworths catalogue and all that. Like, right?
Buy them off the telly.
Aye, flying off the shelves, man. Right?
Text.
Mate, I think it's the same big slow cooker as now big air fryer. Same industry, right? They've just shifted gears. It's just another large appliance to sit on your kitchen worktop, right? And my mum used to fucking fire at slow cookers. That's been cooked all day. Boom, right? And I just get sick of them. Puff pastry. Roll out the puff pastry, cut it up, stick it in the oven and all that. And I just got sick to death of it. But see now, love a stew.
That's one of the best.
My mum-
things.
One of the best things you can eat. One of the best things you
My
can
mum
eat.
used to make steak pie. Quite a lot. Good steak pie. And
class.
she'd basically let me and my wee brother see with the cut offs of the
Extra pastry.
Extra pastry, but then, well, you would like to put wee designs and stuff on the top, so it'd be like an E and an M and all
That's
that.
right.
I done a Bobby one time, right? She didn't notice. She said, yeah, I think she says something. That's a nice leaf. Like, so,
Did you say her?
no,
you know?
no, she said no.
That's the first time she's finding out about it.
She doesn't listen to the podcast. I'm happy to.
I'll send it to her.
I'm happy to fucking
I'll send it to her.
spill my guts with this, but that was hilarious.
Mine was corned beef,
Right.
beans,
Yeah, you said
and
this.
mashed totties.
Say that again. I interrupted you.
Corned beef, beans, and mashed totties.
Is that not called corned beef hash?
No, it was just called. Maybe that was the name of it. Maybe that was the full name.
That's heavy gross.
Aye, that was my favourite thing, and you'd mix it all together and eat it. It was fucking.
Have you ever spam?
Nah, I never done spam.
No.
Never done spam.
I drew the line.
Mate,
at
there's apparently people are making spam bougie.
Aye,
Like
I've seen a
TikTok recipes and all that, but
Stop trying to bring
they're
it
like
back.
frying
Aye,
spam
frying
and then they're making wee sandos with it and all that and chopping up the bread. So
Have
it's
you what?
Was this-
Sorry.
no, like not like a sandwich, but they call it like a sando, but it's like pure. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a pure square, heavy, efficient looking sandwich. It's the only way to describe it. Everything's pure uniform.
Aye.
Everything's pure
Nothing's out of place. Everything's in line.
Do you get me? Like the wee square
I get
things.
you. I've never heard the name
Sando.
Sando. I thought you were shortening sandwich.
Mate,
to that.
we are Stovies, Sando.
Sando. Stovies is a meal though. Sando's is made up.
That is me. I do agree with you.
My mum used to overdo, like, cook more frequently than she should. Pork chops in themselves.
Same, by the way.
are all right.
Because she'd always get it for the butchers. Butchers always have like, deals on pork chops.
Or they'd all be yellow sticker, and 'cause
Aye.
nobody wants to fucking eat them.
Yeah, never had pork
Oh,
chops.
she
Chinese
tried to
pork
get
chop.
through it. She tried to get through Chinese pork chops.
Chinese pork
She tried to
chop.
get through 3 of them. You'd be there for fucking days.
I
Fucking hell, man.
I
Aye.
hate this.
I used to have lamb chops a lot. Lamb chops growing up. Like a lot.
Never
Lamb
had.
chops,
Only when I was
potatoes,
older.
mint sauce. And all that.
When I was
Sauce.
older, I started.
Do you know?
Sick,
I used to
man.
go to my granny's for dinner.
I was fussy when I was younger though.
after-
You don't sound like you're that fussy.
All
No,
I
you're
didn't
into shit.
like- all I
I was
didn't like was
fussy.
ketchup.
My mom, like same chicken pies, man. She'd overdone chicken pies. And then I wouldn't eat them. Then I went a period, I wouldn't eat anything except cereal and pizza and milkshake.
No,
Ah, you look like it.
you look like it.
And to be fair,
That's why you can't grow a beard. You didn't have enough vitamins.
Yeah, I didn't. I moaned at you two for that. I moaned at you for that. I was still like milk when I was like 7. I just wouldn't want to.
Straight from the tea.
Straight-
or-
Wouldn't eat. Oh,
Angie, gives that
aye.
tip.
See the documentaries made TV guys latching for man's tits still and that. Like she has to comment like
That was
break
you.
at school and stuff. Aye.
Did you see there was a news article, and I'm not making this up, about a woman who found her husband at the wedding day, found the husband in the toilet with his mum, sucking
my
her
God.
tit.
Nah, there's no way, man.
I swear
There is no fucking way.
I'm going to do the thing, chat amongst yourselves. I'll
Has
go
it
find
own
it.
mum?
Yeah, his own
There's
man.
no way.
Do you know? I frequently remind my brother that he was breastfed and I wasn't. I was like, "You sucked my mum's tit." I also came out the sunroof as well. So Cameron, you're disgusting.
Aye.
Wife found.
Aye.
Anyway, I was saying.
Cabs went to was like second base, your mom.
Holy moly.
Anybody that breastfeeds, I'm sorry. I was just
I used to go to my grand's for dinner after school all the time, and do you know, I don't know how she managed it, but every single time she ever cooked me beans, they were always fucking Baltic. like I mean like freezing.
really?
And I would just eat them because I didn't want to upset her. So I'm fucking having like cold beans and toast or whatever. And then I told my mum.
Do you know what it was? She's probably cooked the beans then do the toast, then the time the toast was done.
But our system was fucking shite.
Aye.
I told my mum, and then my mum or my auntie or somebody told Grant. So I got back to my gran, and
That's
my god,
worse. That's worse no come for
she
you.
was fucking heartbroken.
And what happened the next time you ate them though?
No, I don't think she ever cooked me beans again.
Oh shit.
Genuinely, but she was genuinely heartbroken. So I can't believe you were eating their beans and they were cold, and then you didn't tell me.
That's
sorry, Gran.
fucking funny.
R.I.P.
So I searched wild topic change. Well, back to what we're talking about. I just searched the words wife found a husband sucking mum's boob in closet. And then the
Pornhub,
top
come on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 links are XNXX and Pornhub.
Aye.
Oh, wow.
However, on the 8th one, Daily Mail, found it. Got a wee Hoff chub now. I had to click on a few links just to make sure that wasn't the article.
This podcast is taking a weird.
Here's the headline,
turn.
right? I'm a wedding makeup artist, and my bride almost walked out on her big day after finding the groom being breastfed by his mother. I'll read that one more time. I'm a wedding makeup artist, and my bride almost walked out on her big day after finding the groom being breastfed by his mother. Keywords in there.
Did she go ahead?
Almost.
that means she went through the wedding.
Almost.
Fucking weird.
So apparently it was wedding planner Georgie Mitchell relayed the story on the Unfiltered Bride
There's
podcast.
No way, man.
Almost.
There's no way. You go ahead with it after that.
Well,
Yeah.
what if he's
Because then, like, she would have kissed him. Probably tasted milk.
Is it milk in his
sour.
tash?
Sour.
Madness, bro. Madness. I'm surprised she was still lactating at that
Well,
age.
Maybe
if
if you just
if you
continue-
never stop,
Aye.
if you never stop,
Aye.
I
But it just dried up eventually, no?
well, no, I think that's if like there's like a need for it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So the body
I'm
produces
not a women's health expert,
No.
so that might be wildly wrong.
Do you know one thing you'll learn? See when
Gee,
baby Ev cries, lactation.
From it.
For me,
From Evan.
for me on a tit hen. There you go.
Yeah. Like
Do you-
apparently,
do you know-
apparently that triggers.
no word of
Apparently
a
that
lie.
triggers it.
No word of a lie. See, when Rosie was a puppy, right? We were on the couch and she latched onto my nipple. The genuinely just sitting there, she went,
Aye. Telly done it once away at the start.
And you've been trying to get her to do it again ever
know.
since.
Actual for a video.
I've been putting peanut butter on my
Proper.
nipples and that, right? Rosie.
After that, I was like, wait a minute, that would be really funny. And it just never happened.
I was going to say something there. Oh yeah, see whenever I've got my top off about the house, I had to always go, boobies, daddy boobies. I'm like, no, dad doesn't have boobies, he's got pecs, daddy boobies.
Daddy booby. Do you know
Daddy boobies.
Quite a set, you know.
Hattie Graham is hilarious.
Top tier, man.
So
quite funny,
funny.
innit?
I'm so invested in and it's
talking-
actually,
her
to
talking
be
now.
honest, it's Katie's Instagram.
It's Katie, I know.
It's all Kate, it's not you.
I think you're super invested because like that is going to be you. Do you know what I mean? Like
that.
you're going to live that. Daddy, what's that? What's that? What's that?
What's that? Ducks. I just find her hilarious. She's
She's
just
so
funny.
smart, man. She knows
heavy
more
switched on.
Ever,
fucking
man.
shapes and colours than you.
Aye.
She's heavy switched on. She really
I
is.
just couldn't believe she's sitting. I seen Katie the other day when she was dropping Bear off.
Oh, yeah.
Hattie's in the back of the motor. Like, you going to go and see it? You going to go to any holidays? Yeah. You going to get in the water? Yeah. I just felt like it was sheer Baltic. Like, she's not going to the water.
She was,
but-
she thought we were at the beach. We were at this loch. We're at Loch Chon, I think, up near Aberfoyle way. And she's like, Daddy Beach, Mummy, Daddy Beach. I'm like, yeah, we're at the beach. She's like, go in the water, go in the water. I'm like, no. She's actual Eskimo suited up. And I'm like, mate, you're going fucking nowhere.
you're going nowhere.
But what we'll do, right, we'll rate some of these dinners, right, that I got in, some favourite house dinners, and we'll rate them, right? So many of them, Moz, mince and tatties. One here, lasagna. What was the one that... Right, here's a classic one, right? Fish fingers, chips and beans.
Do you know, I never
Yeah.
really done that.
Cannot whack that.
Not a fan.
No,
I can't eat fish.
really?
Yeah, like I've got a weird like sick.
Can't eat fish? Salmon?
Nah. Funny story about salmon, just very very quickly, is my mum with her ex who was horrible. They used to have loads of properties, right? And just by chance ended up renting them out to like a kind of clan of Latvians and Russians and a couple of Ukrainians and stuff, right? no, but
Sounds like the start of a movie.
yeah. And they all used to work up at the local fish farm. Right, so at 5 o'clock on a Friday, they would come down and we would call it the last bus of the night, the fish bus, absolutely stinking. But we had these stable doors in the house, so the kind of leader or whatever, if you like, his name was Eddie Bushmanis, meant to had a glass eye, right? he got ripped out in Latvia, and but he would knock the door, right?
Sounds like
he would knock the door and he would be like, hello Lynn, how are you, right? And then out of his trackies, he would pull a full salmon like that he'd nicked, or like a big chunk of salmon that he nicked out the fish farm, right? Just as a thank you. I think my mum was giving them, I don't know, cheap rent or something, I don't know. And so we had this chest freezer full of like salmon, and that we're never going to get through it. I don't eat it, but hundreds every single Friday. Big lumps of fish.
Mate, that's sick.
It's mad, isn't it?
I'd love that.
It's
At
mad.
least the guy had an excuse of his
Heavy trachy salmon, do you
I
know
know,
what I mean?
but see, but think about it. They worked in like a fish farm in a factory or whatever, so he needs to like on the conveyor belt, like wrap that, fucking get it down his trackies, like, and then walk with
a bit of
a
salmon.
full fish in his leg.
always looks like he's got a limp
Aye.
because he's just got a big.
Heavy fucking slippy fish.
There you go.
That's fine. Do you know what? I've said I was going to go through some of these. There's like 30 responses, right? And I'm not joking. 95% of them
Mince and potatoes.
Mince and potatoes. There's a few spaghetti bolognese. Someone said mum's slag ball.
Wow.
Oh, and then she's realised she said ha 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 slag ball.
She meant
What was a slag?
Mac and cheese. A few mac and cheese. Andy said mac and cheese.
Do you know what I used to hate?
Fajitas. Hold on, Scottish staple. I think Scottish mums are better at fajitas than Mexican people.
Oh, see.
no.
No, Scottish fajitas are shite. They're completely different to what actual Mexican food is like. But fajitas are sick. It has to be fajitas. There's the fucking whole thing about fajitas.
Do you know what I used to hate? That see when somebody would be like, oh, by the way, my mum's fucking thing's amazing, right? And then you go to the house for dinner and it's absolutely shite.
Aye, man. Do you know, he's just,
Absolutely, you're like, this is how you eat.
aye.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
hell.
Remember that going to your pal's house for dinner and just thinking this is shite, and then you would go home, you tell your mum would be dead proud. Yeah, told you. You enjoy your dinners now.
Aye. But I was the opposite.
Really?
Aye, I'd go somewhere and go, this is amazing. Mum, your dinners are fucking shit, man.
No.
She genuinely love them to bits, but apart from instant totties and a soup, I've never seen her make anything else from scratch. Never.
Really?
Everything was always out a fucking packet.
Aye.
Well, or pork chops.
No,
Was the in between?
pork
Well, at least
chops,
it
Packet
aye.
of pork chops.
At least
That
it
was
wasn't a fish at somebody's fucking undercarriage. You know what I mean? At least it wasn't that.
Leg fish.
No,
Aye, heavy
no,
leg
that on the
fish.
way.
Latvian leg fish.
Latvian
leg fish.
That'd be on a menu somewhere.
Aye, defos. Yeah, it's just on that as well.
Latvian leg fish.
Have you ever been to like somebody's house or whatever, and
that's
then
good.
like you've never been to their house before, and you're like, this is how you fucking eat or live, and it's
Yeah.
pure like.
Judgmental.
Oh yeah.
Aye, but you don't think like you're that as a person. I'm never fucking coming back here ever.
Remember when you used to go around to your mate's house when you were younger, and everybody's house had a different smell.
I was just
Aye,
thinking that.
man. Aye.
Like it was one of the core memories I've got growing up. It's like everybody's house had a different smell.
I can still smell my neighbour's house from my first house, the first house that I lived in, and I moved away. Must have been before I was fucking 5 or something. I can still cat pee,
Really?
stinky
Oh,
house.
But this is
Aye.
the thing, not that
Cat pee, stinky people.
not like the everybody's house was pure smelly, but it's just like it just had a different
100%,
smell.
yeah.
Everybody's house had
Different
a
odour.
different
It
smell.
did.
Whereas see now, I don't feel like I ever noticed that.
My house smells of dog. That isn't that bad. I've got loads of animals.
Do you know what I mean?
There's
Like,
something in that.
Aye,
Because you're
it's
right. Aye.
when you're younger, not anymore though. Like now, like you barely notice it. Whereas when you're younger, you're pure
I was saying this to Amanda as
like
well.
an ecstasy of smells. You're like, the fuck's going on here? You're tripping out for half an hour.
I was saying this to Amanda as well. Is like I'm not looking forward to like dealing with or like being around like other parents. See like shite parents, because you'll be getting this soon. Like you know, you're a fucking whopper. Like of a parent.
Do you know what I noticed now? Me and Katie noticed this the other day. We were out for a coffee, and like, I was Katie. She's like fucking super mum, right? She's heavy clued up, and she just knows what to do and whatever. I don't know. I'm just kind of following her lead, and I noticed, and she noticed it as well when we sat down. We were in this coffee shop, and there's a couple there with their baby, but their pram was turned away from them two, and just facing just like. out. So like, imagine you two are there
Aye.
and I'm just facing there. And I was like, that's a bit strange, that. Like, when you want your kid to be looking at you and engaging with them and like copying the faces they make and all that and just doing wee subtle things. Because I think that, see shit like that, small wee things like looking at your baby, copying them. If they make a noise, you make a noise, interacting with them. Like making sure that they're there and involved. They're crying, all right, okay, let's fit. They just ignored the thing and it was just pure.
But I feel like some people look like they hate their Wayne.
Yeah.
They just look like they're
They might have
unhappy to
thought
be
that
a parent.
that's not
Is
a
that
thing.
a flashback?
But that's the thing. They might have not thought that that's like a big deal, and I don't think it is a big deal. But I feel like those wee small things in every instance, in every facet,
100%.
right? We'll relate this back to fitness somehow, I'd imagine. But like all these wee small things, right? It actually does matter.
Yeah. Do you know when you go to Finland, right? There's just Waynes fucking scattered about the streets, and their mas and their dads are in
Yeah.
the pubs and in the restaurants eating. Just leave the
Leave
Waynes
the
and the
kids
prams outside.
Where's this?
Finland?
Is it Finland or is it like Norway?
No, it's Helsinki in Finland.
Places like that, the mothers leave their kids outside in the cold to like get them used to the temperature and stuff like that. So they're in the pram, wrapped up, and they're just chilling. There's prams of people. Surprised
all-
you've not seen this.
Aye.
I've
And
never
they-
seen that.
Then what they say ends up happening is they end up becoming more independent. And like they all move out like 16, 17 there. Because they're saying, because
Do you know I'm not surprised?
Yeah.
That's
So this is what I'm saying. So see small things like that, I do think impact kids and impact babies
Definitely.
when they grow up, because like when they've been shown affection or love or whatever.
Yeah.
It's I felt terrible as well. I'm sitting there on my phone and she's playing and she's like, "Daddy, no phone.
Oh,
Daddy, no phone."
You're a bad dad.
And I was like, "What fuck?" I was like,
She's
she's noticing that
picking
when
up
I'm
on
at
it,
that
aye.
age, because she knows what a phone is, right? And she'll grab it and she'll be like, "Hello," right? And she'll pretend, or like whatever, she knows what the remote is and shit like that. So she knows what stuff is now. So if she's "Daddy, no phone," or I'll be on it and then she grab it and then like move it and then grab my hand and then I'll go and
man,
do,
that's
and
so
do stuff.
sweet, man.
So it's like
terrible father.
exactly. So these wee things that they begin to notice, you begin to notice. So like when I just seen that, those people, and Katie pointed out as well, and Baby was just looking at Katie, just spaced out. Oh. I mean, it's been well behaved, so they probably didn't think anything of it. And so if it maybe started making a fuss, they turn it around and do whatever.
but
But
they're great parents. We are sitting.
probably.
I would be fucking slating them. I haven't even got a win yet. And
I
I'm
know.
like,
Obviously,
I'd never
that's
do that with my
And
child.
I'm not
that's
saying
born
it's
yet.
a bad thing. I'm not saying a bad thing, but you do start to pick up on things.
People doing stuff different from what you would do, basically. As a
Exactly.
parent.
Exactly. And who am I to know what's right and
Aye.
what's wrong? Nobody knows. I'm just doing what I think's right. Do you know what I mean?
No, I think that's fair.
See, at the end of the night, I'll go on the floor and just kind of lie in my front and go on my phone for a bit. I don't know why. I just do it. So I'm just lying down, just kind of ready to eat dinner, jump my phone, and Tilly always comes down onto the floor with me, right? Doesn't matter every single time. If she was sleeping, doesn't matter what she was doing, and she paused my phone out my hand, so I pat her belly. It's like that.
Needy.
I'm on my phone, and she's like, "No, this is my attention." Right?
I think
hits the phone.
See,
And I'm
when I
like,
try
I need
and
to put it
do-
away, and I need to pat her belly and all
When I
that.
try and
It's funny.
foam roll when Bear's about, he's like, "It's
Oh,
go time.
aye.
We're doing something. What we
Aye.
doing?"
Dad's
Yeah.
playing?
Yeah,
Yes.
I thinks it's play. I thinks it's fucking automatic play. But anyway,
I had the two of them kissing me when I was foam rolling.
How was
Bear
he?
and Tilly. Oh, brilliant.
yeah.
Aye.
So Danny looked after Bear when we were away for the weekend.
I love them.
I know they
the best
definitely.
boy, man.
He was fucked for like 2 days because I took him over to my mum's on Monday, and normally my mum will look after Bear and Hattie. Or sorry, my mum looks after Hattie on a Monday. If my dad's home, he works offshore, I'll take Bear. So my dad can go walk him and run him about and whatnot. But if my mum's there, it's a wee bit too much sometimes, like for her to handle both of
her
them.
knees.
She's just had knee replacement. 2 knee replacements, I think. So I was like running about after the pair, and Bear's a bit of a handful. But I was like, "Mum, do you mind if I just leave him for like a couple of hours and I'll come back and get him?" She's like, "Sure, no problem." In fact, when I seen you on Monday,
Oh,
remember at the gym, I was going back to get him. But then she phoned me and she was like that. He's actually fine. He's just been sleeping all day. And I was like, definitely, because he was at Danny's with the
Run a bit.
He just sat and slept for a long time.
Tilly was the same for like 2 days, man. Slept, went into a crate, just took us out a crate when Bear left. Then he came out for
Really?
hours. Aye.
They need each
They're
other
just,
to
they're
tire
just
each other
pure,
out.
but they're dead close together, the two of them.
Aye.
So they're always lying next to each other, then they'll play. and I've got this same wee pattern going, my bear doesn't seem interested in her. So like he doesn't really he doesn't do it. Takes about 3 minutes until he try, and then he does
They
it, and then
finally
that's
get
it, and they go
in.
crazy.
Aye, I
It's the
know.
same thing every time. It's funny.
Doug's a class.
It's really funny.
So, a couple of bits. I liked your question. I liked your question as well. But we'll talk about that after class.
After class.
Evan's smirking. He's like, shit, don't throw me under the bus.
Roll.
Right, so I had a thing that I was talking about with one of my clients the other day, and I wanted to get your two thoughts on it. But there's 2 ways to track your training, and there's only one real way. There's many ways to track your training, but 2 main ways to track your training, and only one really benefits you. Right, and I kind of made a wee bit of a story about this. So you can track either the level of effort that you put in to that training session, or if you compete, the level of effort that you put into that competition, that game, that whatever, right? So you can track the level of effort, or you can track the outcome or the performance, right? The result of it. And I was saying to one of my clients that the only thing, for the most part, that you should really care about is the level of effort, and you should actually let go of the outcome and let go of the end result, because that's something that, for the most part, you don't really have that much control over. What's your thoughts?
Straight away, like, my thought goes to level of efforts. Well, subjective, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So, like, depending, and that's obviously an internal rating. So, like, you might perceive it to be like a 7 effort, but it might actually be a 5, or alternatively, it might actually be a 9.
Yeah.
Right. Depending how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Like you could be caught up in, like, I don't know, I'm fucking pulling scenarios and stuff out my arse, but say you're the type of person that's maybe really, really hard on yourself. You say, oh, my effort was a 7 there, but actually you're fucking busting your ass. Do you know what I mean? So if you're tracking your level of effort, then that's a hole that I see in that. Because it is subjective, and that means that how you feel about that actually matters, whereas like an outcome or the actual kind of data from that is like, well, if I ran 100 meters, it's 100 meters. If I lifted 1,000 kilograms over the full session, it's 1,000 kilograms.
Yeah.
So it's more kind of data centric.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And I'm actually glad that you brought that up, because I think that's why it's important that if you are beginning to use something like that having a second set of eyes, a coach, a training partner, someone that's somewhat close to you to check up on that and almost
Or
verify
at least experience
point
with
score.
what you just said, Ev.
Exactly.
Before you then go to effort based.
Yeah, so it's like, it's absolutely like, at the end of the day, like, numbers are numbers. You either did something or you didn't, right? You either achieved it, you didn't. And then I think that either winning, losing, like, I'm always a fan of that, right? I'm always a fan of, like, right, you either won something, you either lost it, you either made the rep or you didn't make the rep, like that type of shit. I am a fan of. You either did it in this time or you didn't. But then people get too caught up in that. So they could have put a 10 out of 10 effort into something. That was the maximum output that they had for that given day. And again, a 10 out of 10 effort doesn't necessarily mean like a PR attempts all the time. It's just what you have, your best effort for that given day in that given scenario with that context. But yet, say it was a worst performing thing, right? Say, for example, related to rugby, it's like you gave your absolute all, team gave its absolute all, which is the better team won that day. Right? They were more clinical, they were just more efficient, they had less penalties, they were just better. You lost to the better team. Like, people could get dead hung up on that, being like, fuck, we lost, rather than say they have a shit game, they played terribly, they missed tackles, they did whatever. We won by 15 points, but it's fine. What's better? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
what's better? And that's where it's important, because you're then surrounded with other people, be a coach, and I'm just using a rugby team as an example, but if you translate that into your own training, if you're surrounded by good training partners, if you're surrounded by a coach, if you're surrounded by people who can verify and almost call you on your bullshit, being like, I gave everything I had. It's like, nah, you didn't. I know, based on X, Y, and Z, right? Because you have that data from them, from previous times, from previous scores, from previous sessions. Whereas if you have, for example, like someone give a 4 out of 10 effort, but they've like beat their previous score, or they've done really well if they're competing, or they're doing a high rocks, or they're running or something like that, and they're happy, but they didn't give their best effort, because they're happy based on the result, purely results based. That's not the best thing for long-term progress. And what I was saying to my client was basically the objective here should be to stack as many like 8, 9, 10 out of 10 efforts as possible, rather than stack the feeling, which is subjective, of good performances. You know what I mean?
I get you. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you made the, I'm glad you countered it, but and rather than just being like, yeah, like blah, 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 I'm glad you said, well, there's holes in it, because there is holes, and I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's just, I feel like for most people, stacking multiple good efforts will always beat trying to stack wins, performances, whatever.
Yeah, I think kind of tracking as many metrics as possible will kind of help. Do you know what I mean? To track,
maybe dip in and out as well.
Yeah, so track the feeling. How did the session feel? What was the subjective score with that? What were the numbers? Various other bits and bobs, and then you can have a more kind of a greater picture of what it actually was, and then you can kind of look back at it over time and say, right, okay, well, that's why this happened, that's why that happened, or but I think having more is always better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because you'd rather have the data and not need it than to need the data and not have it.
Definitely.
That's my kind of approach with it.
Definitely.
Probably, and again, that's probably more applicable to like your guys, potentially your guys as well, than like my demographic just now. Not that it's not important, but there's probably more of an onus for your guys to like have like kind of look at their percentages and various other bits and bobs.
Of course.
So there's maybe less data for us to track. Doesn't mean that we should not track it though. So
and it sounds like a lot, but it's like more of like if you look at things on like a macro level. So if I break down things with a lot of my guys like in kind of 4-week chunks and 4-week blocks, and I said something to you beforehand that we can discuss on a different episode, and one of my thoughts were how 12-week programs typically don't work.
yes,
But we can talk about that in the future.
that's another episode.
I'll dangle that carrot there now. See if we can get a few bites. 12-week programs don't work. But where was I going? I lost my train of thought.
Chunks.
Yeah, so I do things in like kind of 4-week little chunks, and it's like you can review things then and be like, right, holistically as a whole, typically, can you tell me like from this session to that session, from this session to that session, because everybody's going to have different strengths and weaknesses, like what went well, what went poorly. So it doesn't need to be like a pure daily thing, because people have lives to live. Do you know what I mean? I am like, I've got a lot of time to train and a lot of time to put into my training, but I still wouldn't do that on a daily. Do you know what I mean? It's more like you look at it from a macro level, and ultimately, I mean, it'd probably benefit you paying someone to do it, i.e. a coach, to like help you with that. So like self-doing it is also going to be a difficult thing to do. Yeah. But
old you would have plugged gain line strength there.
Yeah, gain line strength. It's it's funny. So like, have you seen those AI images where you squint your eyes and it's like a picture of cats, but then if you squint your eyes, it says "send nudes"?
No, I've
Have you not seen them? Or if you squint your eyes, remember the big black guy with a massive dick? He's pure Jack standing out. It's like all these houses. If you squint your eyes, you can see him. See if you squint your eyes when you watch a YouTube video of the podcast, it says gain line strength.
It says gain line strength.
It says gain line strength.
Well,
anyway, wildly off tangent again. Aye, but that was my thought. I just wanted to bring it up with two ways that you could track. Only one that can ultimately benefit you. You had a good bit, Danny, as well.
which
Your big fitness sport and goal. And I had that other thing of who was your mentor coming into the game. But we'll cover your one first, and then if we've got time, we'll cover.
Aye, I was just thinking this. What would be if you have it, the big fitness / sport goal, not current. The big striving towards, pushing towards, in the back of your mind. You maybe don't speak it, maybe don't say it to people. You're maybe not currently thinking about it, but it is in there. Joe.
Win at Murrayfield, baby.
Yeah.
That's one of them. I think I've got a few, but as a child, only thing I wanted to be growing up was a professional athlete in any sport. Any sport. Was infatuated by it. Used to watch Space Jam and be like, I want to play basketball.
I want to be Michael Jordan.
You're too wee. Fucking whatever, right? Any sport I ever watched, I wanted to like be on it at the world stage. And then always just growing up thinking I was like, I'd love to be able to walk out Murrayfield, play, score. That was my dream forever. And that's the only. I would not be back at rugby if they didn't make the final that past year. I wouldn't have been back.
Shows you that it's possible.
It wouldn't have been the. It shows that it's possible. And I was like, well, I'm going to do that.
See, to be honest, I think we've got the team to do it again. Like the building blocks are there, so it's like I think that it's not unreasonable to think the next season or two that we could get back there.
Now you've lived my dream.
Mm-hmm.
What's your dream?
This is probably going to come from like left field. Just probably don't expect this, and I don't know if it would be fitness or something, or it would be like fitness. But it's definitely like an active thing. I would love to do Everest.
Oh, why did I fucking know you were going to say that?
I would love to do. I don't know if.
I think you.
Summiting it.
Let's get you up your first Monroe first, right?
I think you could get up it. You couldn't get down it with those knees.
with
You
those
couldn't get down it with those knees or get up
That'd
it.
be fucked.
You can get up it, no bother.
That's all. This is the other thing, and it's like I'm 31, and I've obviously got. I'm going to play rugby literally until my fucking limbs fall off, right? But I'm really feeling the effects of it now. I'm feeling like my fingers are. I don't know if they're not arthritis, but like slightly deformed and whatever. I've got a fucked knee. My ankle's fucked.
He was getting concerned because we might be training with our special guest next week, and he's like, I'm a bit sore after contacting the Tuesday.
No, but a bit like. But
Are we all training?
I'll tell you.
But see, to be honest, I really need to manage like what I do week to week. Like in like sometimes like, even in the house, that man will say, "But why not going to the gym or something?" I'm like, 'Cause I fucking cannot move. Like, and it's not like obviously I'll go do my rehab or whatever, but I can't just rock up to a gym, fuck wait in a bar and start squatting. I would be done for. Like, and there's obviously a lot.
Do you think? Because I think about this. I think about you a lot, Evan. No, I think about this in you and your situation, and that's one of the reasons I thought about this question. Because I was like, do you have a bigger goal than rugby?
Right now. So that's like a pipe dream thing. Because I think to actually go up there is mega bucks and all that.
I actually just think it's
finances
more of a financial.
But see that whole like
Talking
going to-
100 plus now.
What about no rep does Nepal? Like that'd be a good YouTube.
No rep does base camp.
What's the local beers in Nepal? I'm there.
Exactly, but like that's like a kind of pipe dream thing. But see, for me, I would love to be able to like even do something like fucking CrossFit at like a good level to be able to do all the movements unrestricted and like not have to worry. Like, obviously, you pick up injuries and shit as you go, but like not have to worry about my knee. So basically, the long-winded way of saying, see, once rugby stops, I reckon it will be like my body will get to like a good position, but I'm not willing to give up rugby
That's
to do that because like I read something years and years and years
Do you
ago.
think we just stop being a little bitch and just?
Saying what I'm thinking, boy.
I read something years ago, and it was basically along the lines of one day you won't be an athlete anymore. You'll just have the memories of one, right? There will be no bus trips. There'll be none of that shit. So I'm basically rinsing my rugby career for as long as possible until like the wheels fall off.
Well, this is the thing, mate. Every single
Like a fucking Fiat Pinto.
yeah, there's going to be a time where it's your last time doing anything. And
That scares me, man.
That was another thing that really tripped me out about. I've mentioned this before. It really tripped me out about rugby for me was that I couldn't remember my last game, my last training session, my last bus trip. I couldn't remember it, and it was such a huge part of my life. And there's just so many core memories. It was the only thing I cared about for so long, and then it just like disappeared and it just stopped
Overnight, almost.
literally overnight. And it's not because I intended on. And I don't know. It was weird. Do you think that you're going to be 22, 23 forever? 24, you think you're going to be that age forever, and then fucking 29 next week, and I'm like, shit, son. Like, it's fucking starting to kick up a notch a wee bit here. Like, those times that you're going to
Get
have.
one more year in your 20s, boy.
Yeah, literally. As Katie was reminding me last night, she's like, your next birthday is going to be your last birthday in your 20s.
It's going to be your last birthday. Just full stop.
In your 20s. I know, yeah.
Pause. In your 20s.
In your 20s. I'm like, thank God you finished that sentence. There's going to be a last time you do anything. So that's why I'm just trying to enjoy things a bit more.
No regrets.
I'm just enjoying. No ball.
No ball.
I'm just trying to enjoy shit a wee bit more. Do you know what I mean? Enjoy training. And I think I put too much pressure on myself a lot of the time. especially CrossFit and stuff like that. And it's funny how everybody has these sort of like long-winded. I used to think this all the time, and I was like, but that's silly, like pure going and playing professional sports or doing whatever. But then I always just think to myself when I was younger, I was like, well, somebody's got to do it. Someone does it. Like, it's not just pure mad aliens that play for Tottenham and fucking Rangers and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why that came to my head. It's not like that's actual real people.
Yeah.
It's real people that fight in the UFC. It's real people that are heavyweight champions of the world. It's actual human beings, right? They're like us. They're no different. So like someone's got to do it.
Do you know what I reckon? See, if I had me as a parent, I would probably have maybe not been professional, but I would have played higher than.
I think the exact same. I genuinely think the exact same.
I'm not blaming my parents for that, but they just the thing is they didn't have the awareness.
Exactly. You only know what you know.
Yeah.
You only know what you know, so you can't blame anyone.
Yeah.
But I do wish I had, when I was younger, a little bit more guidance in that respect. Do you know what I mean?
I wish they just didn't let me fucking run about drinking. Not that they were for it or anything, but I was a tearaway.
I never really done that growing up that much. I was never really like that,
I
to be honest.
also thought, see, because I was always in the kind of district teams and all that, I would just
Get there.
I would just get there. So I didn't need to train. So I didn't train as hard as I could have. But
But you think any of our parents come from any sort of sporting or fitness background at all? They don't have a clue, man.
Literally none.
We're just so hyper aware of it
Aye.
because we're in it. Like,
So
super
see,
in it.
before we finish up, what's yours? Your
So
goal?
I want to run across the Sahara Desert.
Well, across the way or like down the way?
I don't know the
How long
logistics
is it?
yet. It's big. It's really big.
Aye.
Purely because it's like how
You've shifted your... Sorry to interrupt.
No, sorry.
You've shifted a lot of your things lately with training. It's very running and endurance focused.
it just
So continue on that, sorry.
I want to run across. I want to do it. It's like I think about it a lot. I'm like, how far can I take it? Really? How far can I take it before you break? But then again, I thought, right, cool, you break. It doesn't happen. But then there's round two.
Do you know what would be a really good thing for you to do? The Marathon de Sable.
Yeah, well, it's on the cards. That's going to be on the cards probably in the next year or two. I've checked pricing out, kind of how it works. Like, and it intrigues me. There's a jungle ultra as well that I've got my eyes on.
I kind of feel that if he's going to go and do that, like we should go as well, like to be a support team.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
It's about
If anyone wants to sponsor that,
it's a multiple day trip, that one. But I want to run across the Sahara
Sick.
because it's like that's like you can die doing that.
Yeah.
That would get me up in the morning. Just to
that'd get
see
me hard.
Talk about rock hard health, man.
know what I mean?
That's
But
it.
do you know what it is? It's like I want to do stuff that I never thought I'd be able to do, and then I want to be able to inspire somebody that would be in the exact same position. Like they're redefining their limits constantly, and I feel like I want to keep redefining my limits to inspire other people to redefine their limits.
What better way as well, other than to like lead by example? Ultimately, like I think that's huge from a coach's perspective, is like leading by example. Here, I've done this, so you can do it too. And I kind of have a little bit of imposter syndrome, a little bit, because one of my coaching dreams is to take someone to the CrossFit Games. Like I want to take someone from like not even introducing them to the sport, but being at whatever level at the sport and helping them, facilitating them getting there. And a little bit of me has somewhat imposter syndrome behind that because I've never been there. I don't think I'll ever will get there, but I want to help someone get there.
Doesn't work with that though. Do you know what I mean?
No, I know.
Like,
I know.
'cause
It
some of the
doesn't.
best coaches have
Of
never.
course,
So it's
absolutely. There's tons of them out there that have never done it.
Like, I actually think you will.
Yeah,
I know
I know I will
Genuinely do.
eventually.
I mean that.
I've got some things in the pipeline as well. I will wrap it up. I've got some things in the pipeline as well that I want to get like the younger generation into it. I'm going to do a lot of free shit with them and stuff like that because I want to recruit talent and help.
We need
them
it,
get
mate.
there. But, yeah.
We need it. We need somebody like that.
Class.
Anyway,
Good episode.
yeah, good ep. That was episode 55 of the No Rep podcast. I didn't even say my usual dauber pattern, but make sure to like, subscribe, share this with a friend. It actually does make a difference when you just tell just one person. So tell two, and we'll see you guys next week for a special episode because we're bringing someone on.
Let's
Guest
go.
season. Goodbye.
Bye.